back to another edition of Boxing for Real. I'm your host, Don Omega. This is Iron Truth. Today we're talking Joel Casamayor. And start us off.
Okay, this guy's the best lightweight in the world. No matter what anyone says, he's beaten everyone. He's gotten robbed 4 times in decisions. He should be 36-0, 20 knockouts without a question. He beat Acelino Freitas. He beat Diego Corrales in the rematch, which he didn't need to give to him, by the way, and he gave it to him anyway, got robbed in the decision. Corrales has ran from him ever since, as has Freitas. Beat Jose Luis Castillo clearly in December of 2004. That some judge had it 117-111 for Castillo. That was absolutely crazy. He should be banned. Beat Kid Diamond. Almazbek Ramkolov is the real name. You know him as Kid Diamond. He beat him back in June of 2005. Clearly by decision. They scored a draw. Casamayor knocked him down in the first round. Almost had him out completely in the first round. This guy has more skills than any of those guys combined, mentioned just now. Fighting Lamont Pearson on Friday Night Fights, July 7th, this coming Friday, tomorrow. But anyway, I expect him to win convincingly, probably by a late round knockout, and hopefully he gets some of these rematches with these guys that have been dodging him since he's beat them, clearly. So
yeah, let's go back for a minute to the Corrales and Castillo matches. The Corrales match, basically the Corrales match, he dropped Corrales in the fight. This is the second fight. The first fight, just to set it up for a minute, for anyone that doesn't remember it, Casamayor, bottom line, Corrales could not continue in the fight. Casamayor knocked him down twice in that fight, and he was cut on the mouth from his mouthpiece or whatever, blah, 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 but he couldn't continue. So it was ruled a technical knockout in favor of Casamayor. Casamayor, being the man and being the real fucking champion he is, said, okay, you know what? Screw it, I'll give you a rematch because I'm a man. I'm a real champion. I'm a real fighter.
Corrales kept bitching that he had Casamayor out somehow, that he could have came in the 7th round and dominated and knocked him out the next round. That was bullshit, obviously. He was nowhere near even hurting Casamayor. He did knock him down one time. Casamayor
flash knockdown.
Yeah, Casamayor gathered himself completely fine and came back and beat Corrales easily. Anyway.
Now, Casamayor, I'll say this, he made a dumb move, which the dumb move he made was getting rid of Joe Goosen and bringing on Buddy McGirt for one fight.
That was the only fight he kept.
Goosen he had been on with for several fights before.
I think his whole career, actually. Probably.
Maybe his whole career, but anyhow, definitely
longer.
For his whole successful career.
Definitely.
And Goosen brought him to the game. I don't see why he left him. So Corrales went and got Goosen, which was a good move. But by Corrales, but I just feel they screwed him completely. And if you look at the end of the fight, you can see Corrales celebrating. He is the only one in his corner celebrating. Everyone else, even Joe Goosen, looks like a defeated team.
Also, just the way he was celebrating.
And they have this look about them like, we're screwing this guy over or something. They have this very dishonest look to them. Go and watch the fight. If you need it, OmegaFights.com.
Absolutely.
Come to us.
Anyway, Corrales, just the way he was celebrating also was just looked completely fake as hell, not real, like he did not believe at all he won the decision. He was right. He clearly didn't. Casamayor dropped him in the 10th round. Casamayor, I had him winning, I think, the first 8 rounds of the fight, I believe. Or maybe even more than that, possibly. It was a very lopsided decision for Casamayor.
Yes, it wasn't even close.
Not at all. That was the absolute worst screw job he's received on any of the 4 fights that we've mentioned at the top of the show that he's been robbed in. But he clearly beat him. So, and Corrales will be the studio analyst on Friday Night Fights for tomorrow night's fight between Casamayor and Lamont Pearson, so that should be interesting.
Now, the Castillo fight, basically the way this fight even came about, if you remember, Corrales and Castillo were set to have their big mega fight that everyone was dying to have, and it didn't happen because, once again, Corrales decided he didn't want to fight. For whatever gay reason he had at the time, he didn't want to fight. And Corrales, since he didn't want to fight, he stepped aside. Casamayor stepped in.
Yeah.
He said, look, I'm ready to go.
Absolutely.
He came in, he absolutely, thoroughly dominated Castillo. But Casamayor was the stepping stone, the obstacle in the way of this fight being made.
Yeah.
So the judges screwed him.
Bob
Arum got the judges to screw him or whatever. For whatever reason, he may have not even had to have paid the judges off.
Probably not. Everybody in boxing, the fans, the judges, whoever, they all wanted Corrales Castillo, this great mega fight that they built it up to be. No matter who they had to rob or screw or cheat to get to that, they were going to do it. They knew beforehand they would have Castillo winning as long as it made the decision.
And I wish we had the punch stat numbers,
yeah,
but
Showtime doesn't do that for some reason.
Showtime, and good thing for Castillo they don't, because I guarantee you it would be some of the most lopsided you've seen in any kind of championship level fight.
Through the first 6 rounds, I don't remember Castillo landing a clean punch at all. Actually, Casamayor was dominating. I can't count how many times he hit him with his straight left over and over, had Castillo's head rocking back over and over again. Castillo won the 11th and 12th rounds, clearly. That was about it. You could have given him maybe 2 other rounds in there. 8-4 was about the closest it could have possibly been. Casamayor clearly won the lightweight championship that night as far as I'm concerned, and he's still the champ because nobody's beat him still.
I think the last 2 were the only rounds I gave him.
Well,
but anyhow, let's move on now to his opponent, to Casamayor's opponent coming up, Lamont Pearson. This guy is no guy to be taken lightly. He's actually a live guy in there. His only losses are to Robbie Peden, 3K Battery, Yadsanan, or however you say it, 3K Battery, the good 3K Battery, basically, and powerful guy, good fighter from what I've seen. And Orlando Salido.
He knocked Robbie Peden. He knocked out Nate Campbell twice, actually. So those are 2 good wins. Recently lost to Barrera, of course, last September in a lopsided decision. He knocked Pearson out, I believe, in the 9th round. But 2 good fighters. Pearson's lost 2. He's a decent fighter. Definitely not somebody to be overconfident with. So Casamayor shouldn't have much trouble as long as he's
I'd go on record right now and say Joel Casamayor is probably the most underappreciated fighter currently right now.
Casamayor, like I say, is undefeated. He's 36-0 as far as I'm concerned. Will beat anyone in the lightweight division. Could beat anyone in the 140 division, I believe, now. Also, but anyway, so tune in Friday night to Casamayor.
And finally, on the undercard of that Friday night fights tomorrow night, or tonight if you're watching Friday, which you probably are, it'll be Julio Cesar Garcia, who is 36-2 with 29 knockouts. The big thing about this guy, though, he's only 19 years old.
Yeah.
Nearly 40 fights. This will be his 39th fight. And he's 19. Can you imagine?
He's taking on Grover Wiley. You'll remember him as the guy who has a win over Julio Cesar Chavez.
You probably won't remember that, actually.
It was on TV Azteca, a very unknown station that nobody gets.
That Bob Arum is a freaking moron for putting anyone on. He actually considered putting Castillo in there.
Yeah, and didn't he put Jorge Arce on there? Arce on there 2 times, 2 months in a row against Adonis Rivas. Knocked him out both times, but anyway, nobody saw those 2 fights. I saw them, thank goodness. But anyway, Grover Wiley's the guy that beat Chavez in Chavez's last fight of September 2005. Garcia hopefully knocks him out, gets rid of him for good. 19 years old, very impressive. 2 losses, neither one by knockout, by decision. One very early in his career, which he's still early in his career. He's only 19 years old. But definitely somebody you want to watch, probably.
Absolutely. And with that, we're going to end the show today. Thank you for watching. Keep sending those questions in on our mail bag. Our email is boxingforreal@gmail.com. boxing4real@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Don Omega from Iron Truth. See you.